If you thought Amazon KDP was bad with all their idiosyncrasies and hang-ups, these all pale in comparison to the dog-dookie dumpster fire that is Audiobook Creation Exchange these days. Though the flames aren't quite as strong as they were before, I'll share some rather dubious details about ACX that'll make you realize, well, KDP isn't so bad after all. Account suspensions and terminations. Now, both on KDP and ACX, it's fairly equal ground when it comes to suspensions and terminations. They will often give ambiguous references to violations when you have been suspended or terminated, and some often without any real proof. KDP is getting better about their support, but they continue to not have phone support for certain regions outside the US. And ACX, I'm not sure if their phone number is still active, but you could call into them at some point a few years ago. Now, barring that potential phone line in, you have email support. That's it. And they're not always willing to hear you out. Both companies have email customer support reps who seem to be under immense pressure and seem to have to clear out their support tickets as fast as possible. So the answers and explanations tend to go nowhere for you. Both platforms have a guilty until proven innocent philosophy, despite having a flawed vetting system. Some account holders legitimately don't know what they did wrong, yet are led in circles, left feeling frustrated, defeated, and out of options. KDP and ACX need a better customer support system, especially one dedicated to recently suspended or terminated account holders. Give more account holders the benefit of the doubt, and you just might surprise yourself, and you'll win a loyal and lifelong advocate of your platforms in the process. Or, I don't know, be a heavy-handed uncle who gorilla palms the side of your nephew's face for beating you at Connect 4. Yeah, I didn't cheat, Uncle Bob, you just suck at Connect 4. This leads me to the next logical comparison. The pricing and royalty structure. Now, just a real quick one here. KDP, if you price your ebooks between, say, $2.99 and $9.99, it's 70%. Anything outside of that, well, good luck. They're gonna give you 35%. Yeah, that's donkey ball. But when you have a direct pipeline to one of the world's most widely used online marketplaces, you're gonna take what they give, right? The good news is most costs associated with publishing an ebook, paperback, or hardcover pale in comparison to audiobook production expenses. It's not cheap, folks. Now with ACX, first, you do not set the price. They do it based on the length of your book. Yep, you have no say, none. And for being so cooperative with them, ACX rewards you with, you ready for this? 40% of all sales. But that's if you're exclusive. The sad part is ACX only distributes to Amazon, Audible, and Apple. That's it. And Apple only provides 25% of each sale on their platform through ACX. And then you have to split that 25% and a 40-60 revenue share in favor, of course, ACX. Now, if you even try to go off their platform with a non-exclusive deal, that's 25%. Yep, 25% for every audiobook sale. For some reason, ACX must think it's absurdly cheap or easy to produce an audiobook because while they take on the burden of distribution and hosting, it hardly seems to be a justifiable cut when it's leaning so heavily in their favor. And believe it or not, ACX used to have a better royalty structure that worked on a tiered system. For whatever reason, they decided that wasn't serving them any good, so they opted for the unfairly lopsided royalty structure system that we currently have. Returns policy. On KDP, you've got a 7-day return window for accidental purchases. All right, that's not too bad. It's fairly strict with returns, but if pushed, Amazon might accept a return. If a customer reported or complained about enough quality issues in your ebook, then I'm sure they'll do a return in their favor. Now, on ACX though, there's a 365-day window of return. However, you're only responsible for the first 90 days, regardless of how much the listener consumed. For a while there, readers were blatantly abusing the system and even bragging about it in public forums and social media. But before I dig any further into that steaming pile of horse manure, let's tap into another of the greatest hits on these platforms. Manipulations. Oh yeah, there are some manipulators out there for sure. On KDP, if your KDP Select enrolled ebook has a sudden bump in page reads, it sets off alarms. Sadly, too many people abuse the system over the years that the automated system has developed like a serious case of like PTSD. This leads to many false positives and wrongful account suspensions. Pulling the titles from the market erodes relevancy on the platform, therefore killing any momentum the book had from the sudden bump in page reads. Some people are legitimately getting sudden bumps in page reads. It's not like a secret. They're not trying to work the system. Now, others hire people to check out the ebooks and get the pages read for them, therefore influencing the Amazon bestseller rank and the end-of-month payout. You can see the latter option is definitely sketchy, so an account termination is completely justifiable. I just wish they had an arbitration system in place so we could speak directly to KDP to resolve the issues with false positives instead of sweeping the problem under the rug and pretending like there's not a single thing wrong. Now on ACX, they've got the Bounty Link program. Now you're probably saying, the manipulations, where are you going with this? Where someone uses your ACX assigned link for the Bounty program, they'll get your audiobook for free and 30 days for free on Audible. And if that reader becomes a paid member for 1 month after the trial, you get a $75 kickback. Well, someone failed to inform us that we need to fully vet all our readers using our links to get the free trial membership. Yep. You better save some of your bounty earnings to pay for background checks, because if this person right here uses free membership trials like tissues at a wake and funeral, we gotta deny him access right away. ACX, what sense does that make? You gave us bounty links to promote your overpriced Audible membership. Yeah, I said it.
Audible is overpriced.
I can go to the library and check out the same, if not better, audiobooks to the library. You can keep your Audible original series audiobooks. If I want to listen to John Cena or Kevin Hart, then I'll catch any number of their shows or movies. I won't miss it. Legit. Controversies. Oh yeah. I'm going to compare the CreateSpace merge versus the Audible gate. Now, if you don't know what the CreateSpace merge was, let me fill you in. CreateSpace was a print-on-demand company established in 2000, and 5 years later, Amazon bought them up. Around late 2007, Amazon launched Kindle Direct Publishing. Eventually, the two platforms became intertwined until around September of 2018, when KDP announced they'd be merging CreateSpace with their platform. Thankfully, KDP had a jump start on things after rolling out paperback print in beta around late 2016. So you would think the transition was smooth, right? Nope. It was a train wreck. Authors lost titles, covers, relevant metadata, and more. I saw authors going from earning 4 to 5 figures per month to hardly breaking $100 in earnings. Whatever KDP did in the move, it really botched it up. And to my recollection, the company never publicly apologized for the mishap, much less acknowledge it. I feel for their customer support team back then. There were some really irate KDP account holders wanting answers, explanations, and some instances consolations. Eventually, we all just forgot about it and moved on as if it never occurred. Well, you're probably saying this isn't a very fair comparison if you already know the story about AudibleGate. After all, the first issue can be blamed on technology failure. With AudibleGate, this was much deeper, and it was a problem that seemed to be normalized the longer ACX has been in business. Around October of 2020, ACX account holders discovered a drastic change in reports. 1 minute, they had sales in the dashboard. The next, they faced a lower number and in some cases, a negative balance when they checked in. Yep, account holders actually owed ACX money for distributing content due to a lax return policy. Actually, it's not even quite that. I'm being too generous. Audible is so big about creating a great customer experience that they encourage returns after a reader buys from them. Yep, email confirmations that essentially say, hey, if you don't like that book, kick it back to us because this one will rock your world. What the f is that, Audible? You're essentially encouraging readers to do refunds and guiding them to your preferred product. If you don't want us on the platform, then at least have the decency of telling us. Can you imagine going to a restaurant and before you ate your meal, you would be given an option to return that meal if you weren't satisfied, and the return meal would be tossed out and you'd be given this new flavor of the month. If I wasn't happy with that meal, then I'm stuck with that. Oh my gosh. They don't care unless it's money in their pockets. Meanwhile, account holders didn't even have a column, much less downloadable spreadsheet of a report accurately tracking the returns. What happened was they made an error, forgot to subtract the refunds from some of the accounts, so they did it all at once. So Audible, ACX got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and they faced the wrath of not just self-published authors, but traditional publishing got involved too. In fact, there's still an active campaign going on right now. You can find out more details about it over at audiblegate.com. Oh, let's talk about the rampant abuse. On KDP, we've got low-content book publishing spammers who shove 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag. That's fairly innocuous compared to the other issues, like we have to have these review swappers still in business, book stuffers, and low-quality publishers abusing loopholes in the system. Now, Kindle Vella has desperate authors buying each other's books to artificially inflate likes, faves, and purchases, so then they get bigger monthly bonuses. They're not really reading the episodes, they're just flipping through the content in exchange for the same. It's a garbage tactic. Just all-out trash. Can you read other authors' works? Sure. But should you do an illicit exchange to take monthly bonuses you didn't earn? No. It's just sad and not a good look. Market to more readers and stop wasting time doing sketchy business practices. It's like showing up to a potluck, but you didn't even bring a dish. Heck, even Charlie the maintenance guy shows up with napkins. Do you think you're too good to put into the potluck meal? Or that everyone else owes you a free meal? Or that you're better than Charlie? Charlie's good people. How dare you? Brings napkins, damn it. Napkins! Yet, here you come with nothing, yet leave with a full belly. Trash. That's what I call it. Now on ACX, we have this full-on clown show and organ grinder monkey parade. While there used to be issues with promo credit abuse, it stopped when ACX removed the cash value payout for each credit. But there's a couple issues happening right now. Oh, ghost audio. All right, if you hear someone say that, run away. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's a marketing tactic of some sort. It's not such thing. What it really is, hire cheap ghostwriters, then hire cheap narrators, then hire cheap virtual assistants to do the dirty work while you collect the paychecks on scammy business practices. There, I just saved you $1 to $2 grand you'd pay for an overpriced, overhyped course and coaching program filled with inaccuracies, black hat tactics, and overall slimy business practices. Rights infringement. Would-be rights holders are falsely claiming books on the ACX platform, then having a narrator do the dirty work completely unaware they're working with a fraudster. Why is this happening? It's because of this silly system on ACX where if you want to publish an audiobook, it must be available in ebook or print book on Amazon. Never mind the fact you do not need that option on any other platform like Findaway Voices, Authors Republic, or Audiobooks Unleash. If you want to publish a book, you just do it over in those areas without all the complications that ACX makes you do. Now, while ACX might view this as a safeguard, it actually isn't, since account holders can search on ACX through a deep list of titles with no audiobooks attached, pick one that hasn't had a narration, then go about their business. Though KDP has its share of hangups, they have overall done a decent job in providing a reasonably safe home for most indie authors. Keyword is most. Meanwhile, with ACX, I simply can't share the same sentiments with absolute confidence. I'm cautiously optimistic and will continue to use the platform since it's the most direct path to publishing on Amazon and Audible. We don't have a choice, but we do have a choice in is the alternatives that are out there. Here are some of the 10 best self-publishing companies that you can look into today. I'll see you in this next video.